Hi there and welcome to my channel. Today I have lots of unusual art supplies to show you, so without further ado, let's go. The first thing I'm going to show you is the Koh-i-Noor Heartmuth. I don't know how to say this. Heartmuth, and these are the magic ones, the chunky ones, and there's also the thin ones, which are the tritone ones. And like the name describes, it means that each one of these pencils have 3 different colors, all mixed up in the same lead. So he really has a very special appearance to the lines that you make, because they're not, I don't say consistent, but it's not the consistent color, but it has like a mix of all the colors that are there. So as you can see here, it has like a little hint of the different colors as you paint with them. So it creates a very dynamic painting. It is a really lovely art supply. Look at that. I really love the last one. It's really neat. Now for this one, have you ever heard of dots? So there's the Daniel Smith and Winsor & Newton dots. It's basically like a try before you commit to buy the whole paint tube. And so what it means is that each one of these, sorry about that. Each one of these pieces of sheet watercolor paper has different dots of the different colors that they have for the collection that they might be featuring. And so you get like a little sample. It's like a sampler. Yeah, that's what it is. A sampler of different colors that they have. And so for the Daniel Smith ones, they actually have like a good amount of the product in each of the dots. So you can actually use them for multiple drawings or illustrations or paintings that you're doing, and get a feel for what they look like before you actually buy them. For this one, I was so disappointed. It's barely anything there. You can't even test them out all that well. I was very, very sad about this one. So yeah, that's for that one. And look at this one. You can actually see how it has product. You can see that stack on top of the paper. And they also have these little samplers as well. The little dots on this one is, I think, the mineral marbles or mineral something. Anyhow, yeah, mineral marbles. And it might look a little bit dull right now, but as soon as you activate them with water, they come to life. And a little goes a long way with this ones. You just need like a drop of water to activate them, and you can use them for a pretty long time actually. So I'm really happy about this ones. They're fun. And they're very portable. So you have a variety of different colors with very little space. And they have another type of collection, and this is for like the more colorful ones. Like, look at that. It's so vibrant. And for this, colors are so pigmented. Pigmented? Is that how you say that? Anyhow, the pigmentation of these things is very nice. And you have a variety of different type of colors, like this pearlescent ones, and they're neat. And those ones, don't even look at those ones. I made a mistake. And like I mentioned before, like before I started recording, I just put little dots of water, and it didn't have lots of time to soak in. So it was basically put the water in and start recording. So it didn't even have a lot of time to saturate. So that's what I say with, that's what I mean when I say that a little goes a long way with this ones, that you just need a little bit of water and then you get like a lot of pigmentation for the colors. And that's lovely. I really like that. I do have to say, for the pearlescent ones, it's not very saturated, so you do have to put like different layers if you want to get some opacity with those. But I mean, it's pearlescent, not like metallic. I think that is the distinction between those. That one is like just shimmery, the other one is more. And this one, I have to warn you, this is really weird, but don't take my word for it, just look at this. I'm going to give you a couple of moments, just if you want to, put in the comments, what do you think this is? Have you ever seen something like this before? What do you think it's used for? And I bet you won't be able to guess. And these are actual action figurines, body-kun and body-chan. and they are posable figurines. So if you are like me and struggle with anatomy, oh, I made a rhyme, then you can use this ones to like pose them in different poses and use that as reference. So I mean, it doesn't be like real reference if you have like pictures and things, but they're really nice for if you are, for example, working on a comic and you want to have a specific pose but you're not sure what the shot should be, like what angle you want to make the shot from. You just use these little figurines to pose them, and they have different little hands that you can interchange. So it's not like you're stuck with one specific pose, and like little props and things like weapons and I think a computer and other little knickknacks and doodads. And they're very nice. They're like very, I've lost them several times, so yeah, they are very tiny. But yes, this is, I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of weird. Like if you look at them, they're they're really weird, but they're really neat because look at this. It's flexible even to the toes, so you can actually pose like a running pose or like a more expressive pose. And I'm just saying this in comparison to, have you seen those wooden silhouettes or wooden mannequins? It kind of look like mannequins, and they're for the figure, like for figures, and they're aesthetically pleasing, but they're not really functional because they're very stiff. But this one's, you can do a lot of things and change the hands and all the things. These ones are the tiny ones, so I think it's for her, not for him. So yeah, they are the two of them. Like, let me just pose her again. I do a power pose and get her to move. Yeah, so you pose them, get the specific, I guess, scene that you want, and then you can start drawing from reference. Well, this is your reference, becomes your reference, so that's kind of neat, but they're really weird. So I don't know, I haven't used them as much as I thought I was going to use them. And let me show you. No, that's what I mean by this. It's like if you have a specific scene that you want, but you're not sure what angle you want to draw the scene from, then you get to actually see it firsthand and then choose what you want to draw. It's pretty neat. Now for the next one is these. I have different quills. You call them quills or pens or dipping pens? This one is supposed to be a vintage. I'm pretty sure they didn't have this in the olden days, but it's just pretty, right? And this other one, if you thought this one was pretty, wait to see this one. It's just gorgeous. And this one, it's a handmade glass dipping pen. So you can see it's just so sparkly and pretty. And if you see the twirly thing on the top, that twirliness, it actually has a function. So the ink will come and like travel all the way up, and it stores a lot of ink, so you can draw for a long time. With this one, you don't have a lot of variety of lines. Like, it's very consistent, but you do have a little bit of flexibility in the nib, so you do get a little bit of variation, but not a lot. Yeah. And this one, it is really consistent. It doesn't really have a line variation whatsoever, which, I mean, it's sometimes it's nice if that's the aesthetic you're going for, and it's absolutely lovely when you're writing, and it's just so pretty. Now this next one, that's just a little hint of what I'm going to use. This is Lego dots, and I've seen them everywhere nowadays, and so I just wanted to have a try at them. I found this set on a clearance rack on HomeSense, I think, and so I decided I'm just gonna give it a try because I've seen a couple of creators doing things with them, using them as printing screens. What do you call those things? So you put the things and you roll them with ink, and then you put the paper, and then you flatten the paper, and then when you peel it off, then you have a print. So it's very nice, and I just want to try it, but we're going to try this a little bit later because there's a lot of moving parts, so we'll do this in a little bit. Now the next one, I know they look very simple, very humble, but I just want to show you that I think they're so cool. They're this paper, and it's covered in this black thing, but the cool thing about them is that when you scratch them out, or scratch them off, I don't know how to say that, insert the right grammar here, you can see the underneath of it, and this one is like a rainbow thing, and you can get really intricate, and this one over here is a hollow or holographic background, and it's beautiful, so you can get really intricate with like what you're carving out of the paper. And I just think they're really, really fun for little notes or for like more intricate stuff. And yeah, I really like them. I think they're really unique. The next one, it's an actual kit. It's a quilling set. I've never used it before, and I always like the idea of it, the aesthetic of it, but I've never actually tried it out before. So I decided this would be a nice video to give it a try. And we're gonna learn things together. So basically you have those papers, and this things over here is for shaping the paper. So you roll that into a little spiral, and then you put them in there to keep the shape of the paper, and then you glue it onto a base. And I'm not sure what many of these things are. Like this one, I think it crinkles the paper, but the other things, like this Lego looking things, I am not sure what they're for, but I guess we're gonna find out. I think it's for shaping. I don't know. Oh, there's a little voodoo man. Oh, hello. Oh, I don't know. Anyhow. This one, I know you're gonna think this is really weird, but hear me out. So this is a caliper. It's an electronic digital caliper, and it's basically like a fancy ruler, but it's a very, very precise fancy ruler, and it opens a lot of opportunity, because if you're starting to work on a more digital scale, you're going to need to be very precise. And so this one helps you if you have any components that you want to do, and you know that it needs to be a specific size. I don't think I'm explaining myself very well here. It's very nice for having a precision measurement of something for the outside and for the inside as well. So if you have something that needs to be a specific thickness, or if you're measuring or trying to replicate something and you need to know, or if you're trying to 3D model something and you know what the measurement should be, then you get to have an idea, and that part of there is for the inside of things. So yeah, it's a very cool measuring artsy thing. And this is the next thing. I didn't make this, I didn't design this, and I didn't even print it. My husband actually did this for me for my birthday. But just think about it. It's like a whole different dimension of creativity. Once you're able to create things digitally, then you can replicate them over and over again. Kind of like opening like a whole new dimension of creativity. Something that is the same happiness that I have with sculpting, is something that when you create something, but if it's digital, you get to see it form again. And this one, I know it doesn't look very artsy, but just hear me out. I think that art and technology have a place together. Not only are you engaging the the visual sense, if you use things like this, like buttons, like sensors, like different things, you can create like a whole experience, which is which is art in itself, right? And so, for example, let me show you. This is something I made when I was in university. And so this is sculptures that I did with clay, but on the bottom of them, I have RFID tags. And so I did a soundscape for each one of these things. So you put them in this little stand. I don't know what the stand is right now. I think I disassembled it because I was doing something different too. But you get to have a different sound for each environment. So I created a soundscape of like, what is this sound to be in the city? So the bus going, the traffic going, the noise, everything very overwhelming. And then the counterpart, I also made a soundscape for the forest. Actually, I don't think I made this soundscape. I think I collaged it for something from just different sounds of a forest, of nature, of a creek, just lovely sounds that are peaceful. And so you can get a 3D, an immersive art thing. Now, I said I was going to play with this, and so let me show you what I did with this one. This is the first time that I'm doing anything with this type of art supply. I guess I'm calling it an art supply because you can make art out of it, but I guess if that's the definition of art supply, anything and everything can be an art supply, so go nuts with it. But yeah, so with this one, I just wanted to make a very simple little bear, just to see if, like, how easy it is to make something, or how complicated it would be to have something that is replicable. Is it replicable? Is that the word I'm looking for? Yeah, you can repeat it again and again. So anyhow, here it is. The hardest part was counting how many spaces I had to play with. And if you think about it, it's kind of like pixel art, because you have a specific grid there that you can place those little blocks on. So as soon as you figure out how much space you have to work with, it's easier to try to find out what to do with that space. Trying to make a heart, it didn't work out that well. It didn't look very nice, so I decided not to do that right now. And I think it's looking pretty neat for a first try. So this is the other thing. When I was transferring it, they don't, well, they fit nicely, but they kind of wiggle around, so you have to be very conscious of keeping them straight, or else you're gonna have like a really what do you call that, like a waving line. And if I sound a little bit weird right now, it's because I've been fighting with a cold for weeks now. So yeah, I finally have a voice, and so I'm finally able to do this. Now this part over here, the corners, I thought it was pretty neat, and it came with the set, but it's really nice for making, what do you call them? I know they have a specific word, just guiding railing? No, there's a specific word, I just don't remember. Anyhow, to make sure that the paper goes in the same place over and over again. So I've never done this before, so I'm pretty sure there's a better way of doing this. I just don't know it. So I just put like a whole lot of paint on the roller and just rolled it awkwardly. It's not very smooth, the application. I need to get better at that. But anyhow. Now for the moment of truth. Yeah, So the application wasn't very even, so I need to work on that before this becomes a usable thing. So let's give it another try. I learned from my mistakes, and I put like a heck of a lot more paint on the roller, and I put a little water just to make it more soluble, a little more runny, and then it started picking up the paint, and I was like, oh no, what have I done? So I put more paint, and that worked. I do have to say, the paint says that it's washable with water. It took me forever to actually get all the paint off this thing. I kept submerging it in water, and it kept on just leaking more and more ink. So look at that, it worked. And just to make sure it can be done over and over again, I just did it again. And it worked. So it's kind of nice, right? You get to have like a little stamp maker, or like a pixelated stamp maker. That's nice. I like that. I'll play it with it some more. I'm gonna pick up a theme and make different things. Now, the quilling. This took a while. This is a very patient art thing, I guess you can say that. Something that you would want to do while you're watching a movie, or listening to it on an audiobook, or doing something else as well, because it takes a lot of patience. Or maybe I'm just impatient, who knows? Maybe I was not in the right mind space. Anyhow, so you roll it up, and then you put it in this little shaping thing, and just to make sure that it doesn't come undone, what you do have to do is you have to put like a little dot of glue at the edge, look at the end, just to keep it together, or else it just unravels like that one. And in this one, I don't have the whole thing recorded just because it took a while to do. It's just very repetitive. But I just wanted to show you like a little bit of the first part, so that you get a sense of like what it is that you do when you do this type of art. I will want to do something that is a paper creation, so something that has like different dimensions. Like a background layer and a mid layer and a front layer, and then use this for decorative purposes as well within that work. But I just wanted to see what it would look like when it's just solely using this. And it looks really messy right now because the glue is a little bit white, but once it dry out, it looked really pretty. I really liked it. I'll do it again. It was fun. Thank you so much for sticking around. I really appreciate you stopping by. I just noticed that I have more than 100 subscribers, so I just wanted to take a little bit of time to thank you all for that. It really means a lot to me. It feels like I'm no longer talking to the void, and it really helps incentivize me to create more of these things. So I just want to say thank you for that. And if you want to watch more fun artsy videos, I'll see you next time. Bye for now. Down by the bay, where the watermelons grow, back to my home, I dare not go, for if I do, then my mama would say, have you ever seen a fly learn out like that? You want me to open it for you?
Put the back.
I'll put it back? Okay.
That?